Hey everybody, welcome to Shut the Front Door. I'm Nancy Day.
And I'm Hannah. I don't ever say my last name.
Hannah Osterman.
And you always say your first name and your last name.
And Shut the Front Door is the podcast where we talk real estate, life, everything in between. It's all the good stuff. We are realtors in the Peoria, Illinois area. And Hannah has been so for many, many years. I've been in business for 2, and we're just best friends. We're besties. So we decided to start this podcast, and we've got our first one officially posted. How do you feel about that?
Well, I said before to you, I talk on Facebook all the time, or Instagram or social, whatever. And half of it doesn't even make sense. And I'll watch it back and I'm like, why did you do that? And half of it I don't even watch back because I'm like, I don't want to hear it. But I try to put stuff out there regardless because that's just what you do, you know. And so I already feel like either people don't like me or they like me or they or whatever. Who cares? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, like you said
I guess
to me,
can't affect anything.
We did it, so let's put it out there.
Well, that's the thing.
Good, bad, and the ugly.
The whole thing is we've talked about doing a podcast for a long time. So it's really just about being like, hey, we're just going to do it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and I heard something the other day, and it was, I think, Jay Shetty. He's talking about you are, something about like happiness. Oh, no, it was Ed Milet. When people are 36, we'll say 36, it was in the 30s, % happier when they are doing new things, trying new things. So that's kind of us with this podcast, right? It's like, we've just talked about forever. Let's try something new. If it's a total flop, we move on.
I mean, you guys, Hannah and I talk on the phone like 4 times a day. So why not have a podcast, right? So it's like, I don't think I've seen you actually like in the last couple of days. So what have you been up to?
Yeah, so it was fun. I got to do a showing yesterday because I don't get to go on to as many of those.
And let's explain why. It's because you're leading a team.
Yeah, do more training and leading and coaching and whatever.
And recruiting and that kind of thing.
Yeah. But I love being a buyer's agent. I know that is probably against the norm, but I love working buyers and showing houses and helping them envision things. Like that's really where my creative side gets to come to life, and it's a lot of fun. So I miss it, you know, and I do it when I can, but mostly it's like friends or past clients that I'm close to. And so actually, speaking of our sponsor, Frank, we're going to talk about him right now, I guess. I showed his son a house yesterday. So Frank's Italian Beef sponsor. I told him, I'm like, I announce we talk about you on our podcast every week. And you don't even know the podcast exists, that it's out.
But we're talking about your Italian Beef, Frank.
He's right. Yeah, he's ready for us to send him the link now that we're alive. But yeah, Frank, I got to show a house with him, and it was just a lot of fun. His son. Cool. We're actually going to write an offer today, so we're going to see how that goes.
Oh, good luck.
So we'll see.
That's tough. Yeah, and we'll talk more a little bit about that, like maybe hit what's going on in the Peoria housing market with offers and multiple offers. But you were talking about a TV show you were just watching.
Okay.
That you told me about
she
just
show.
raved about it for like 10 minutes. So I feel like it's important enough to actually mention on the podcast.
Yep. So
people are always like, what show should I watch next?
Yep.
So she's going to tell you.
And I think it was just because like Will and I knew we'd be home in the evening, which is rare. Like we didn't have anywhere we had to be. So I'm like, oh, this would be a fun time to, stay in and watch something. Mostly because I have this puzzle I'm working on that you gave me for Christmas, by the way. So, and it's actually really challenging for me. So
good. That makes
nice.
That makes my heart happy that you like it, and then
I love it. Okay. It is almost a little bit out of my league, but I'm doing it and it's fun.
Good.
So I'm like, that's a good time to put a show on in the background. And so, we started watching His and Hers, which you told me about yesterday. And you said it was
Netflix?
A thriller. And I got home, and it's funny, I saw it right when I turned on the TV to like look and see what shows, and it said it was in the top 10. So
I'll have to try it.
Yep. And because it's a limited series, that's nice because you're going to be done. Like you're not going to end up wanting to watch TV all week.
All right. So like
out of your system,
just like a 10-second summary. What's it about without giving away?
It's a whole murder mystery situation, but that's really all I can say.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like I'll just say this. It like builds like the storyline, the characters even that come in. It the whole show. We'll say there's 8 episodes. Like, you don't even know all the characters, throughout the show. So you can't even know who may have been, who's the killer.
Very
because
cool.
It's all the pieces. Yeah, it was good.
All right. Well, on your recommendation, I will definitely.
Yeah, my mom wouldn't like it, but I loved it. So
well, I've taken on a new little bit. Well, you're talking about Ed Milet, talking about doing new things, right? Challenging our brains, challenging our bodies, I guess. So somebody on our team, Amanda, she texted the group and she was like, I have been following these shuffle mamas on TikTok and Instagram. And basically this started for these shuffle mamas, 2 women, 2 moms during COVID. And, everybody was stuck home. So they started doing these shuffle dances in their garage. And so now 5 years later, they're actually selling programs on how they teach you how to shuffle, right? So when I first saw it, I was like, because I'm not a dancer. Like, I can learn the moves, but I'm very mechanical. And so I don't have the groove. I can learn the dance. But
did you just say, Jack, did you say the groove? I
think I heard
I don't know
the
what that means.
Okay.
So anyway, Amanda invited all of our team members, I think all the females. I don't know if any of the guys were interested.
Oh, yeah, it was the girls group. Yeah.
So I went over to her house last week, and we did it for like an hour or a half hour to... Anyway, it was really fun, and I was out of breath. I got like a workout, and it was fun, and I got my brain going. So then I went home and bought it.
That's awesome.
And then today, I had some other friends come over, and we did it. And 2 things I've learned. I've learned that I am so out of shape, cardio-wise. I'm not kidding. And I've also learned that I kind of like it. So that's kind of new.
I mean, Amanda needs to be probably one of their... what do you call it? Like their
influencers, marketers.
Yeah, a marketer. Yeah. Yep, get like a little kickback.
I mean, they're fun to watch too. So you can see them on TikTok, and it's Shuffle Mamas is basically if you look them up. So anyway,
and Amanda, that was like one of the things she said she's always wanted to do it.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I love that we all kind of. There's stuff we want to do. It's kind of scary. She even put it on her social. It's hilarious.
I will not do that because I look so
fun. I love that she did that.
But that is true too.
It's
like
kind of fun.
My friend Elaine, we were all shuffling today, but then we were sitting down, and she's like, "Do you guys want to hear my goals for the new year?" And it just reminded me, like, trying something new, being intentional. We've talked about this in the past. Just being intentional with. It doesn't have to be 26 things.
It was 21.
Oh, 21. That Hannah
get it right.
Okay, she said she wrote down 21 goals or something last, but it could be like 5. But it's like it just makes it more intentional. And then we're not at the end of 2026. You're like, wow, I didn't really do anything this year that inspired me or challenged me or anything like that. So anyway,
exactly, it's fun to look.
Would you like
on.
to come?
No,
shuffle mama with us?
I don't want to do it.
You'd be really good.
I know, so I don't need to do it.
Okay.
But I will cheer you all on. I'll come to your show.
All right.
Are you guys going to do like a performance?
No. Oh. And I did take video of us.
Could.
I did take video, and it's the saddest thing I've ever seen.
Okay. You know what this made me think of? Just a little side story. It's really funny. So, I grew up dancing and doing ballet. So that's like the only thing I knew how to do. No sports. That was really it. So when Ava was in ballet, Peoria Ballet, Jamie Hall and I, so because Ruby and Ava were together in ballet, we took an adult ballet class.
Oh, how'd that go?
And it was the funniest thing ever. Okay, and I hope none of those people are going to listen to this podcast. And I don't remember anybody's names. But Jamie and I, first of all, we loved it. We were very serious about it. I think actually everybody was. But, it was funny
to watch the others. Oh, you guys were making fun of people.
Oh, there was this man, and he was the sweetest guy in the world. Oh, but it was that was funny. Okay. It was like
that's how I look
for these people, and
that's
I loved it.
That's
I was
how
all
I
for
look.
It. But Jamie actually ended up performing in one of the recitals.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's what we need to be doing.
Get out of that.
Getting out.
But I was also not in a million years. But
I just
that
want you
ship
to know,
sailed. But I was proud of her. I'm proud of you because you're probably going to be on a stage somewhere.
I am not
shuffling.
I am not,
and I'll cheer you on.
All right, you were saying you were getting ready to write an offer today. What's we could talk a little bit about the Peoria housing market now. And
let's do it.
I mean, homes are sitting a little bit longer, but we're still running into multiple offers.
Yep. I anticipate ours will be a multiple offer. In fact, I know that there's supposedly at least one other offer coming. The sellers wanted to do the open house today. Home hit the market yesterday, I think was the first, or no, like 2 days ago. But anyway, full first day was yesterday, and of course on a Saturday. Good activity. But they want to do the open house, which means they want the most money. I will just tell you, our offer, it's only worth what the buyer's willing to pay, right? And in this case, my guy's not in a rush, and he still has a lease for, a couple months. And while the house is like perfect for him, I don't think it's the situation where we're gonna go nuts on a bidding war. So we're gonna write a competitive offer, a good, clean offer, but he's not the desperate buyer yet. So if someone else is more desperate than we are, they're going to win it. So that's fine. We just start our search, the right things out there for him. But it is the cutest little house.
So buyers have to be aware of that, that things did slow over the Christmas time a little bit, but, and
picked right back up.
It really did. I mean, the phones really started ringing just after the new year. So
Tons of new listings.
We're not out of the multiple offer situation. So, okay, so if a buyer is listening right now, and they're thinking about buying, and they're worried about multiple offers, I mean, what are like maybe a couple of things that you would say, look, these are the facts about writing a multiple offer. Because I lost out on one last week, and it made me not happy because we didn't go high enough. And I'm just going to tell you, now, in reflection, I was like, did I not advise them to go high enough? Although I know that they didn't want to go that high. I mean, do you have to say, well, you're going to have to bid or offer?
Here's how I put it.
Say it.
So first of all, there's buyers that have the cash laying around to be able to do the repairs, do the work. So it does depend on the buyer. I will not advise two people the same thing.
Right.
It depends on what they have to work with, where we're at with their budget, where the house is listed versus where they're comfortable paying their monthly payments, that kind of thing. So that being said, but what I will tell universally to everybody is you have to put the offer together that you would be upset you lost it. The next day you find out you lost it by $1,000 or something. Like, so you do have to go to your
highest
max.
And best is what they
highest
say.
And best. You have to assume you're not going to get the opportunity for a counter offer, meaning the seller's, going to pick one and come back and counter with them. They're just going to look at all the offers and pick one. Now, sometimes agents will, like, for instance, if there's an agent on the other side, they'd rather work with them and the two offers are really close or whatever. I've definitely had people come and be like, we'd really rather work with your buyer, and those relationships are important, right? So sometimes they will come back if you're lucky and you'll get to do a counter, but you can't assume that's ever going to happen. So you really have to put your best foot forward. But here's the thing. Your buyer might think that this is what they want to pay or whatever, like based on that conversation. But do they know the market? Do they know the inventory to back that number? Like, where are they getting that number? So that's where we have to do a little bit of extra work to provide comps to make sure, because a lot of times they haven't been in a lot of houses just because we're low inventory. That's where we as the expert have to help them understand this is the best house for this price point or whatever. And so, again, what's your timeline? What's your motivation? If we're down to a timeline, I'm going to really put the pressure on them.
Right.
If it's priced well, that's why you're getting multiple offers, because it's priced well.
Right.
And so we have to really show them what's out there, how long it could be before we find another house like this. Like, Mr. Buyer, maybe this is only the first house we've seen, but have you been looking on Zillow for a while? Oh, you have? So you've actually seen hundreds of homes online. Would you say that's correct? Yes, it is. Right. And so this is the first one you actually liked enough to go see it. So we do need to be a little bit aggressive. So again, it comes down to what their budget is. If it's a fixer-upper, they need to be able to have cash. I'll give you an example. This house that we're going to write an offer on. Oops. Guess I didn't silence that. It happens every time, doesn't it? So anyways, this house, first-time home buyer, right? So it either has a 30-year-old roof from my research, or it has a 10-year-old roof. Because there wasn't, anyway, that's what I could find in previous history of the MLS. The seller doesn't know. Anyway, I'm thinking it's actually the 30-year.
Sure.
Here's the deal. when we're writing that offer, even if we do say as is with inspections, if the roof's not leaking, there's nothing we can do about it. You can't ask the seller to just replace the roof.
Right.
So I'm a little bit concerned, and we've talked about this, putting the offer together, but that's one thing that, like, I don't know that I would fight for him to go high, because we don't know how old I think the roof is 30 years old.
And if it is, it's going to
And
need
for
to be
a young
replaced.
kid, that is not what I want him to be walking into. Now, I'm not his boss. I'm not. He's an
just
adult,
present the
but I'm going to help him
information.
understand
Yeah.
that. So if the roof was like brand new, yeah, maybe we would be a little more aggressive. But we do not know how old the roof is, and there's not enough time to like get someone out there to look and tell me how old it is. So those are just little things. So a lot goes into it. But yeah, that you really have to help encourage them to. You don't want to wake up and have regrets.
Yep.
But also, because of our low inventory, how soon do you need to move? And I'll help you look at the inventory that's out there and see how high we should be.
Yeah.
That was a long-winded answer, but
That's okay. No, yeah.
it's not
That's
a
good
quick
answer.
black and white. Yeah.
Yeah, so buyers can still look forward to multiple offers. Sellers, I did a little bit of research, and houses are still sitting on average about a month in Peoria,
Which is really, really good for nationwide.
yeah, compared
really
to
good.
other parts of the country.
Yeah.
If it's priced well, if you have really done the work in cleaning it up and making touch-ups and presenting it well.
Yep. 48 hours.
Exactly. Most likely it's going to do well, but you got to listen to your real estate agent too. So, I know sellers want the most for their money, and that's our job, to get the most for their money. But, like you said, providing comps, and sellers, we know that you think that your house is worth ... But we have to be realistic in the market, so it's not sitting forever. So just price it right with your agent, make it presentable the best it can be, and it will sell.
Staging's starting to help again.
Yeah.
For a while it didn't matter, and now
interest rates
it's really
now
starting to affect things. Yeah.
All right, interest rates have gone down a little, so just give us a little bit of perspective on what that means.
Yeah. So that means we get more buyers out, is what that means.
Yeah, because people just get off the sidelines now. It's like, things are a little bit more.
Yeah, and like we talk about rents going up, because they've gone up every year, like since COVID especially, just they've gone way up. So that makes people more curious about looking into what they could get to buy their own home, sick of paying that rent, and then they find out it's going to go up again. And so now it definitely makes things more affordable than when the interest rates were higher, 7-ish, 7+. So, yeah.
So really, the best
But it's
place
gonna bring the buyers out.
the best place to start buyers is to talk to a lender.
Yep.
Talk to a lender, so you know what your buying power is, you know where you're comfortable, you know what the interest rates are, you know what kind of closing costs you're going to have, because there are fees when you're buying a house. This is just, you're not just buying a house. There are lending fees, there are title fees, there are repairs that might be needed. So it's a thing. So and talking to a really knowledgeable real estate agent, and that person can also help you from start to finish, walk through the process and just understand it. Okay, good. Well, things we shouldn't care about in 2026 in relation to real estate. I actually have a little list here.
Okay. Let's hear your list.
All right, I'm going to
curious.
list. So these are all We're going to do real estate related first, and then we'll do personal. And then
Are these things you came up with on your own? No,
some of them.
A little bit.
Some
Okay.
of them, yeah.
Okay.
So, I think this was just what we were talking about. Things we should not care about in 2026 regarding real estate, trying to time the market perfectly.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist,
No,
right?
it's just whatever works, whatever your timing, your motivation is. Yeah. It's not going to be perfect.
Yeah. What your neighbor paid for their house.
Oh my gosh, I can't even handle this. We are currently sitting on a situation like that with a listing in our neighborhood.
Please tell us. Can you give us a quick version?
It's so sad because, okay. So obviously everyone loves their own home. They think it's worth $1 million, and it's not. Okay, so that's every seller, right?
So houses end up sitting.
Yes. So like things that they don't know. They don't know the quality or the craftsmanship, for example, of the house down the street. They don't know what other issues they have. They don't know layout issues. They don't know. They don't know enough information. And then also square footage. This really gets me because they don't understand the things that we look at in comps without being explained. And some of them might, but they don't get that stuff. And then also cosmetic, like people just also, that's a hard one because what is updated to one person is not updated to another.
True.
So there's just a lot of factors that go into all of that. But like, for example...
And really listen to your agent then about that. Because your agent knows they've been into a ton of houses. They know what the one down the block looks like. They know what updated in this neighborhood looks like.
Yeah. So our neighbor, it's just kind of challenging because the house that sold down the street a couple months ago, they had a much larger main floor, but no finished basement. And then the one that we have listed now, and that's what he's going off of for his comp, among many other things that were not the same. But their house has a finished basement, but a much smaller main floor.
Okay.
And in his mind, his has more square footage. But we're in a community where it's, it's not a 55-plus community, but basically it is, minus me. Now I think about it, Will actually would qualify us.
For a 55.
He's 55 now. That's great. Well, anyway, so people aren't going to use their basements as much. They don't need them.
Right.
They're on main floor. They're main floor dwellers. They're not going to their basement, but they might host out-of-town guests or whatever. So it just isn't as big of a deal here for for the square footage. So somebody wants, but he's using that as a comp, and that is hard because in his mind he's got more. So there's always those things. You
Listen
can't look
to your
at your neighbor's
realtor.
house.
That's what we want to say.
Stop looking.
Sellers.
Yeah.
I mean,
don't come to us with your Zillow Zestimate. I can't handle.
All right, that was the other thing.
Like, don't listen to them. Oh my gosh, we had a house that we listed.
Yeah.
That was completely flipped, and Zillow doesn't know that.
Right.
And it showed, my buyer bought it for like, I don't know, we'll say $90,000 in an amazing neighborhood, and this was in the Heights. We sold it for $325 or $350 after he flipped it. Zillow was still saying it was worth $95,000.
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
So
Zillow
people
has
are
no idea
looking
what's
at
going
that
on.
and saying, well, that's not worth that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, there you go.
Listen to your knowledgeable real estate agent. Okay, so those are a couple of the social media, and this these are a couple personal things what I'm not going to care about, and I think that you're probably going to agree with me. Things we shouldn't care about in 2026. What people think. Okay, here's the deal, because I was talking to my other friends who aren't involved in this podcast, how I was a little apprehensive about promoting the podcast because you're putting yourself out there, and it's a very vulnerable position.
Yep. And half the things we say, we're like, what was I thinking?
Well, and the thing is,
I mean, listening to the playbacks, I'm like, what was that?
We're just
what a weird thing to say. Yeah.
But it's a very vulnerable position. And my friend said to me, Nancy, she goes, you know what? People are judging you every day.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They're going to judge you if it's great, and they're going to judge you if it's bad. And they said, she's like, put it out there and just get it out there, and it is what it is. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. People are judging me all the time.
And it is.
Whether I'm doing my best.
Business what people think of me.
Exactly. So
that's the motto.
So we all agree that's a good one? Is that a good one?
Jack agrees.
Just like,
he's nodding.
We just can't, can't give that much power to somebody else about how we operate. And if I'm doing something bad, okay, that's something different. But I'm not. I mean, you know what I mean.
You know what? It's liberating once you let go of that fear of what people think of you. Because I feel like I've had it's been a big year of having to let that stuff go.
Yeah.
Like when you realize you are never going to please everybody.
Right.
You're always going to have, I hate the word frenemies, but it's kind of true.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's like, you're just not going to please everybody.
Yeah.
So what I can do is, I try very hard in my family, teaching my kids the right thing, like, those and relationships that are really important to me. Like I do care about, how you feel like I'm treating you, for example, and how anybody that I come with, how do I feel like I treated them?
Right.
Did I treat them well? What are they going to remember me? But how did they feel being around me?
Right.
I don't ever want someone to feel a certain ick around me. I want them to feel welcome and loved and whatever. Beyond that, though, I can't control whatever. So
Well, and
But
having
it feels
our
good to let that stuff go.
Oh yeah.
You got to do it.
All right. Well, okay. So also this is something I have trying to work on, but being available 24/7 and immediately having to respond to texts, which is what people expect. It is what people expect, and I do it in a I try to do it in a very I don't let it go all day. I try to respond, but there's a lot of pressure if you're getting texts all the time, all day you're busy and you can't respond and people get angry. But it's just
Let me ask you, how do you feel when somebody doesn't respond to a text?
I get
with you?
annoyed. I
You
get annoyed. I do.
Well, that's why you have a hard time with it.
Okay. Well,
I don't get annoyed. I'll send a text message to somebody and then I put my phone down and I walk away. Oftentimes. It just depends on what I'm doing. And so I don't get annoyed. And I know I picture people are doing on the other side of it. They're busy too.
Here's the deal. It's not that I get annoyed. if it's something I need, it depends on the topic.
Well, sure.
Like if it's something I really need and they haven't gotten back to me, say within an hour. I feel like an hour is an hour too much to ask.
You're asking the wrong lady.
I'm thinking if I text somebody during the workday, not at 6 a.m., which I do sometimes too. I'm sorry if that's when you, but
I'm used to. It doesn't bother me anymore.
But if it's like during the workday, if it's an hour gone by and I really need something, then I get a little bit annoyed.
Yeah,
is it?
That's fair. My phone is nonstop.
It is
and
nonstop.
So
Yours
how
is.
I have to prioritize things is by the deadline. So like the urgency.
Right.
And so then when I have a moment of calm, then I will come back and start to respond to things.
Yeah.
And they might be a few hours later. That's the other thing I've tried to do is start to protect myself, because I used to be the person at dinner responding to clients, responding to agents very, very quickly, and you realize you never feel caught up.
Right.
And so it actually feels worse because now you're just like half paying attention to who you're dining
family
with,
or your
And what I've also had to learn running a team is that most of the time people figure it out. Give them an hour, give them 2 hours. They're gonna hopefully find somebody. Now, not all the time, but most of the time. So
I will agree with that.
We're at dinner and I probably had 3 agents texting me asking if I could give them a call if I had a moment. Now, this was a Friday night.
Right.
People, I like to say you don't know if you don't ask. So whether or not it's 7 o'clock, they don't know what I'm doing, so they're going to ask, and that's fine. I'm fine with it.
Absolutely.
But then also, I'm, going to protect myself. So then I get done, and I'm in the car, and Will's driving. I'm start responding to people, hey, I know it's 10 o'clock, but did you figure this out? Because whatever.
Well, so maybe I need to change my brain then, because I think that I'm trained that I do think that I have to immediately respond because that's how I
like
feel.
You said, you have a deadline for an offer. That's a different story. So it just depends on your deadlines, your timelines on things.
I probably could just reevaluate that, though, in my own brain.
So let me tell you, that is a good point because Will and I told him that I think this would be a great activity we do with the team.
Yeah.
Because I did it on my old team and it really shed a lot of light on things. And I think anybody could do this activity no matter what their profession is. But basically, you have 4 quadrants and you name the activities and that go in different. So it helps you know how to prioritize when you need to do certain things. And I think if you start to think of things that way, then it helps you plan your calendar. You can plan ahead for things so you're not rushed on the deadline. Just knowing when and how to prioritize stuff.
Right.
Otherwise, it's chaotic.
Yeah.
And like, for example, we always had a plan to make our calls in the morning and then at a certain time we'll say after 11 o'clock, then you can start going into your repair minutes, making your call, stuff like that. But you are only doing your prospecting from 9 to 11.
Oh, I see. Like prioritizing your day and your duties. Yes.
Because if you just get the inspection back, I used to have this mentality. I got to open it right away. I got to do all this stuff right away. And I've already prefaced with my client, like, I'm going to do it by this time. We're going to go through this repair amendment.
Right.
Like, I'm setting them up ahead of time so that I don't feel rushed, like immediately the next morning.
Okay.
And they're like, calling my phone. No, if I already have a set time that we're going to talk.
That makes sense.
And you have control of your life that way.
Right.
But it is a lesson we're going to do. I think it'd be super helpful. Otherwise, people are stressed.
And the last thing that I'm going to just not care about, which is a little bit I mean, we promote all of our stuff on social media. We use it for our business. But I need to step away from social media in 2026. It is not the social media of 10 years ago, where I used to go on and be able to see things that my friends are doing. Oh, look at that picture. Oh, so-and-so is doing that. Now I open up my social media, and it's ads. It's political, because I'm on some kind of algorithm, and I don't know how to get off of that algorithm because it creates anxiety for me.
I'll tell you how to do it.
Okay.
When you're done.
Okay. And social media for me was very social. I like to see what my friends are doing. That's not what I'm seeing anymore.
Yeah.
So I vowed to I actually got rid of Instagram and Facebook off my phone last week.
Wow.
I think it's going to have to be temporary because I do use it for my business.
You needed a mental detox. You were having a week last week.
And it was really something.
That's good for you.
And the doom scrolling, you pick it up because you're bored. It's a habit. Yeah. And I realized that when I got rid of it off my phone, I didn't even miss it.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even miss it. I didn't even want to pick up my phone because I knew it wasn't there. So it wasn't even an option. So anyway, those are those.
Well, this is how you fix it.
Yeah.
Start clicking on cat videos and monkey videos.
Okay.
Because my algorithm is all animals.
Is now changed.
And animals are not political.
Okay. Yeah, I will do that.
I will do that. And then I shop on things. So
you're a big shopper.
I appreciate it because then they send me the things that I'm like already thinking I need, and then
Okay, I'll do that. I will do that.
I'm not kidding you
because I love dog videos.
I mean, I don't even want to say the P word, political.
Oh yeah,
my phone will hear me and then it'll change my algorithm.
Right.
But I guess you click on enough of those, and then you can just scroll the reels of cats.
I love it.
They're really funny. I don't even want cats in my house, but they are funny on videos. And dogs.
And I do run into those, so maybe I just need to more of those so that they're just filling my...
They'll make you laugh.
So
or like menopause, girl, like right now there's this really funny one about Barbies that are like the perimenopausal mom, and it's a Barbie, and she has all these really funny things that have to do with I think I sent you one.
Oh, I think
you see the Barbie?
I didn't see it today. I didn't open it.
Like real life Barbies.
I wasn't really on.
Gosh. So see, that's the nonsense I fill my brain with when I'm on social media.
So for 2026, I guess protecting peace and protecting my peace and just
having again. Back to being intentional, because yes, protect yourself first and foremost. I go on only when I'm intentionally gonna post something.
Okay.
And then
you don't go just scroll.
I don't, but I do have like a little window during each day that I will engage with people.
Oh yeah.
So I'll look at what they're commenting, the couple things, but it's just a little, just to hit. Mm-hmm. And mostly it's funny. It's like a lot of my past clients and obviously tons of realtors. But it's fun to get to see, like, engaging with them. Mm-hmm. My past clients, watching their families grow, like, just all the things, seeing what they're doing. Every once in a while you see that, I'm moving again. I'm like, glad I got that phone call.
What realtor are you using?
There was one. Do you remember the really bad thing with Will and I this summer that, like, sucked the life out of us? It was, like, multiple months.
Yes.
It was a bad divorce situation.
Yeah. Someone's moving?
Yes.
I'll have to get that story later.
The one that blocked me, but then, friended me back.
Okay.
I didn't probably tell you about that.
You guys, there's so much drama.
She blocked me despite, all the stuff I paid for to help her get everything done. And then, those are the people you're just never going to please.
Yeah.
But then she friended me again. I was like, what? Before we even closed.
Oh, my God.
And I didn't go to the closing. That was the one where I was, like, an emotional
wreck.
A little bit. So Will went to that. But yeah, I saw she's moving again, and I'm like, and I know who's helping her. But I was like, I'm kind of relieved it's not me.
No, I mean, some of those situations.
It's not worth your peace.
Absolutely.
And I think she would have been totally fine to work with now because the divorce was really what was hard.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it is kind of funny to see that stuff. It used to infuriate me, and now I don't care.
You guys, we have shut the front door stories galore. Yeah. So I guess we didn't even do that today, but we don't have to if we don't want to.
Do you have one?
My shut the front door moment is just if tenants are involved in the sale of a house, whether I'm a listing agent and there are tenants, or if I have the buyer and there are tenants, here's my advice. Avoid it. Either have the seller get the tenants out, or I will advise my buyer. I have had awful experiences with tenants, so I'm just going to tell you that up front. This is your decision.
Yep.
But we have had...
I'd end up homeless for a while.
And it's been not only bad for her, I have to make the call to her and let her know, well, the tenants aren't going to be out at that time, so let me ruin your day. I have to ruin your day awful. Now, and my day's ruined. So that's been my most recent shut the front door moment. If you're selling a house, if you're buying a house, and there are tenants involved, good luck.
Yep.
So anyway, is there anything else we want to chat about today? And was there anything else?
Well, how are your New Year's resolutions going? Let's talk about that.
I don't really remember them.
I guess that's how they're going. I guess that's how they're going.
I don't think I wrote them down. Did I write them down?
Well, you seemed kind of against them at first, and then I think we talked about it. So I don't remember if you did.
I think I'm going to write down some. Right? Yeah. I think that I'm going to, after talking with my friend the other day, I don't think I wrote any down, but I think I'm going to just put a few so I can be intentional about.
Something to focus on.
But I don't know what I want to do.
Well, I have been doing mine pretty regularly, so that's good. Not perfect. I've really been bad about getting the protein in. But I ordered those protein shots that Mel Robbins partnered on.
Yeah, I saw those.
And they're amazing. In fact, I should go get one after this. Because they're 23 grams of protein, and it's a quick little shot. They're actually really yummy. And there's 3 flavors. I bought a box of each flavor.
Oh.
And so they're in my fridge, ready to go.
You just do a shot?
It's like a little, those like little 24-hour energy or something or other. Is it 24 hour? That sounds awful. But anyway, it's some kind of energy drink in like a little shot bottle.
Okay.
And that's what these are. So you can grab them out of the fridge and go. And they're this doctor that partnered with her that specializes in like women's health and menopause. I've listened to her on the Mel Robbins podcast.
Okay.
So it's like clean. It's a clean product. It's not full of chemicals and crap. And that's like, I feel like why I'm careful or hesitant about those things. But yeah, it's a great way for us to get our protein. So I've been doing those. Those are nice.
But you're otherwise doing pretty good on your 21 things?
I have been. Yeah, pretty good.
I don't think you've showed me the 21 things. Can you?
That's because it's in an envelope and Will sealed it.
Oh.
So I don't remember all of them, but kind of I get the premise. Yeah.
So I do want to mention our guy. We would not be able to do this podcast without. I've known him as Jack. He goes by John Riley at Complete Wedding and Events. So John Riley, if you need any help with weddings, photography, basically you do all the logistics, right? Well, Complete Wedding and Events, John Riley, CompleteWeDo.com. So support him because he supports us. And
he's very patient with us.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see here. We're going to wrap things up. Subscribe, follow the podcast. You can send in topic ideas. You can comment if you want us to touch on something. Are we gonna ever have a guest on here?
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna have a guest. If you have an idea of who wants to be a guest, let us know. Thanks for listening to Shut the Front Door. We'll see you next time.
Bye guys.
Bye.